Hey creatives, and welcome to Book Club Saturday. Today we're talking about The Fledgling. It's an amazing vampire novel by a wonderful African American author. Let's get started. Alright guys, so in a continuing series to celebrate Black History Month, today's book is The Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. She is an amazing author. So of course I'm going to do a 5x5, give you a couple facts about her. Then we're going to jump into my review of The Fledgling, and that's what we'll do. But before we do that, if we have never met, my name is Kim and I'm a creative freelancer with a passion for film and the written word. If we have met, welcome back. So let's get started. So Octavia Butler, 5x5. And by the way, I'm going to do the 5x5 and I'm also going to link to a couple articles and stuff about Octavia Butler so that you can learn more about her in the description below. So let's get started. 5x5, Octavia Butler. So number one, she won the Hugo and Nebula Award multiple times, and if you guys don't know what that, I will also link in the description below to those. Those are just some really high level sci-fi writing awards. So number two, her last novel is The Fledgling, which is what we're talking about today. So number three, one of her strong influences in her writing style and everything is Harlan Ellison. And if you choose to read any of her writing, and you've read Harlan Ellison, you will definitely see where she drew some inspiration from him. So number four, in 2010, she was inducted into the Science Fiction Hall of Fame. I know, I didn't even know there was a Science Fiction Hall of Fame. I guess there's a Hall of Fame for everything, which is amazing. So number five, she actually passed in 2006. That's 5x5 Octavia Butler, Octavia E. Butler. Like I said, I will link in the description below to a couple other resources for you to learn more about her, as well as I'll make a reading list of some of her writing. Some of the links in those guys will be affiliate links, so thank you ahead of time for supporting the channel. Let's jump into The Fledgling, which is an amazing book. It is actually a vampire novel, and you know how I am. I don't want to give you the whole story. I'm going to give you basically a synopsis of what the story is about. So basically it starts with this young looking girl, Shuri, who wakes up. She's been badly burned, badly injured. She doesn't remember anything, and it's the story of her struggling to regain who she is and find out what happened to her and her family, and then embroils into this whole kind of like conspiracy about who killed both of her families. She is a vampire, so in this novel Octavia Butler calls them Ina, and they have a very unique family structure. So it's through that, and she builds her new family, and it's kind of like the struggle for her to find out who killed her families, who is trying to kill her, who is trying to kill her new family, and it kind of broils like that. So it's actually a really great read. The only thing I'm gonna say, and maybe it's because it was her last novel, and I did read that she had a lot of illness towards the back half of her life, and she was struggling with writing and writer's block and that kind of stuff. So maybe that's why I feel like the ending could have been so much more impactful. It just kind of was, as you went along, the ending was what you would expect, and I kind of was thinking maybe there would be like a little like surprise turn. Other than that, and the ending was good, don't get me wrong, like it was what you expected. I just was kind of looking for something that was kind of unexpected. So that's kind of like the things that I like to read. But the book itself was amazing. The detail, the attention to the structure of the Ina communities. So there's only one part of it that it kind of was like in your face. But under the underlying principles, there is a social underlying message in there about racism and sexism and all of that kind of stuff. And there's only really one scene where you're like, ooh, that was pretty racist. There's like little comments, but there was definitely a social commentary on that. Which I haven't read any of her other stuff yet. I have them in my queue to read, but I would imagine that was probably something that was pretty strong from everything I've read. So everything that she wrote was probably, there was a little social commentary underneath. It would actually make a really great movie, except for the one little piece where Shuri looks like she's 12 and she's actually 55, and there's some intimacy things happening, but they could fix that by aging Shuri up. I think if you like vampire novels, check it out. It is unique because it is it's different. It's not your typical vampire. So that, I mean, yes, they drink blood, but there's other stuff attached to it. And so it's actually because of the attention to detail she made in building the communities and creating the vampire, it's actually a really different type of vampire novel. So if you like vampire novels, check it out. I can't wait to read more of her stuff. So The Fledgling by Octavia Butler, if you're looking for a good read, it was a pretty easy read, but it kept you engrossed enough that like you just kept wanting to read and read and read. I think I read it. It took me 3 days, and that's, I mean, I work a full-time job, so 3 days, 3 or 4 days, something like that. It was actually really cool. So check it out, The Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. And guys, that's it for Book Club Saturday. If you dug the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're digging on Book Club Saturday, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and please join me for the rest of the month as I complete my celebration of Black History Month, as well as if you're digging on the content anyways, go ahead and just keep coming back and checking me out. I think that's it, guys. Until next time, creatives, safe journeys.